Next up, we have yet another interview. That's right, we have Jordan Silverthorne, who is here in the studio to talk to us about the new Xbox update. Give it up for Jordan, everybody.
Jordan!
Is that the golf clap?
Hey.
I'm moving over
Yeah.
here. How are you, man?
Hey, doing good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, good to see you again.
Welcome
Yeah,
back.
good to see you.
Yeah.
So
All right.
we've got a bunch of cool new stuff that just hit the console. So the update started rolling out last Wednesday. It's kind of a slow rollout, so most people should have it by now. If they don't have it yet, they'll have it today or tomorrow.
Nice, okay.
It's not as big of an update as the one that we did like last fall. Like first impression, you might not notice a whole lot's changed, but there are some really cool new details in there. So we're going to go through 4 of them officially, and then
Okay.
there's kind of a 5th sort of secret unofficial thing that we're going to go over
that
too.
mean?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So let's get into details. But before we do that, I want to make you a star, Jordan. I think
Okay.
you're a star already, actually. For the people who don't know, tell us what you do here at Xbox.
So I'm on the Xbox Live marketing team. I deal primarily with the console updates that we do. I also dabble a little bit in some of the PC gaming stuff we do. So last time I was here, I was talking about some of the gaming updates that we had on Windows. But the majority of my focus is on the console, on telling the story about all the cool new stuff that our engineering team is building.
Nice.
Ooh, all right. So let's check out some of this cool stuff. I'm excited to jump in.
All right. So this is the dashboard. Again, doesn't look a whole lot different from the dashboard a month ago.
Yeah.
But there are some cool new things here. So we're going to dive into them kind of one at a time and talk about them a little bit. So the first one, this is the one that everybody seems most excited about, is a feature called Do Not Disturb. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up the guide. I'm going to go over and select my little icon here, go to my profile. Now, down here at the bottom, this little drop-down's been here for a while.
Yep.
We always had appear online and appear offline, but now we have a new option. That's Do Not Disturb.
Ooh.
It's different from appear offline. Appear offline kind of made you invisible. Like
Sure.
no one could see what you were playing, could see what you were doing. With Do Not Disturb, and I don't know why it's saying online status not known.
That's kind
Yeah.
of
Ooh,
intense.
mysterious.
Yeah.
That's a little weird. But whenever you select Do Not Disturb, what's going to happen is that all of the incoming notifications that you're going to get, like friend invites, you have someone sending you messages, you're not going to see any of that stuff. You're going to be able to focus entirely on your game. But don't worry, though, because like if you get an achievement, you probably still
It'll
want to
still
see
pop.
that little
Yeah.
achievement notification pop up. You're still going to see that. It's just all the stuff external that's not going to be coming through.
Right.
Okay.
You can spam with messages or something.
Right.
Like I do to
Right.
you.
Yeah, that's pretty
Exactly.
awesome.
Except
I
it's
don't
not
like
anybody.
I don't like lying. Okay, and so appearing offline made me
Yeah.
feel like a liar.
Yeah,
a bit.
yeah, you
I'm
feel like a
actually
liar.
Yeah,
online.
you feel a little bit like a liar.
right.
So now you've just got that Do Not Disturb option.
There you go.
The easiest way is to turn it on right here in the guide. You can also go into your full profile and turn it on there as well.
Nice.
But it's just kind of hiding right over here whenever you select your gamer pick.
Nice.
Perfect.
Nice little touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
And I'm a big YouTube watcher, and so sometimes I don't feel like playing games, and I just want to watch YouTube. So now
You don't want to get interrupted.
that's
Yeah.
right. And
Once
so-
again with my
yeah,
invites.
exactly.
No, I love your invites.
Thank
They're
you.
the best
Exactly.
invites ever.
So all you have to do is flip that switch.
Exactly.
So the next thing that I'm going to show you, also here in the guide, is a really cool new feature that we have called Next Achievements. Now, we've had a feature for a while where whenever you're in a game, you can track the achievements
yeah.
within
Yeah.
a game. This goes a step beyond that. This is going to track your achievements across multiple games, all the games you've been playing recently. So now you can see, like, all right, what achievement am I closest to? What's the most common achievement that I can go after?
Oh.
What's the most common rare achievement that I can go after? So rare achievements are achievements where people like less than
Less than
10% have gotten it. So here I can see like,
Very nice.
9.82% of people have gotten this achievement. So that might be a good candidate for me to go after
Yeah.
if I want to get a rare achievement
It
under my
looks really
belt.
pretty too. Like I love the look of this menu.
Yeah, and then highest gamer score. So like if I really was insane and I wanted to go after Seriously 4.0 and get 200 gamer score off of that,
God.
I could. Now, this feature on its own, just being able to like sort and look at your achievements that way, that's really cool, but it goes a step beyond that.
Uh-oh.
You can select one of these achievements. It's going to open a new flyout in the guide, and this is where you can do even more. So let's say you really want to get that achievement, you're not sure how to go about it, you can search for help. As soon as I click this, it's going to open up the Edge browser, and it's going to autofill the search field so that it will help me find search results for how to get that achievement.
You all are intelligent.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
My word.
It looks like I didn't fully set up the Edge browser before I did this, since this is a demo box. But so there's that option.
Okay.
There's another thing that you can do in Next Achievements as well. And that's that you can come and you can select an achievement again. And you can say, well, I don't know if I'm going to get that. So a good example for me is if I sort by rarest, there is zero chance I am ever going to be able to get the My Leap It achievement in Wolfenstein 2. It's impossible. It's like one of the hardest achievements out there. So I can say, you know what? I don't want to be reminded of the fact that I'm not going to be able to ever get that. So I can come in here and I can say, Nah, don't want to see that.
You can hide
it.
Hide that achievement. It's
Boom.
not going to show up in my filter anymore.
There
In
we
fact,
go.
if I
Okay.
say, like, I'm not really interested in the achievements for that game, I can hide that
Hide the
entire
game.
game if I want to.
Nice.
So-
You guys thought of everything, honestly.
Yeah.
So are these achievements pulled from like games you've played? Then is that how that works? Normally?
Yes. So the way it works is basically it's going to look at like the 15
Last
most
15, yeah.
recent games that you've played.
Got it.
So, it's not going to go out like if you've got
Sure.
Game Pass and you've got 100 and some odd games. It's not it's not necessarily going to look at all of those. It's actually going to look at what you've been playing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's awesome.
So that's the next achievements feature.
Awesome. All
Very
the achievement hunters out there, you're welcome,
Yeah.
essentially.
The lazy achievement hunters.
There you go. Exactly. There you
It's
go.
make it a lot easier.
Yeah. So the next thing I'm going to show you is mini game hubs in the guide. You've noticed a lot of these new features that we're talking about are all sitting right here in the guide. And mini game hubs, what you can do is you can come in and you can look at all of your recent games that you've played. These have kind of been here before, but now there's this new little icon next to all the games. It's a rectangle with a couple little lines underneath it. That's going to open up a mini game hub within the guide. So now if you want to go to a game hub, you don't have to like leave the game, go to a completely different experience. It's all just right here. You can do this while you're playing a game. And the really cool thing is there are things that you can do from a game hub, like an LFG post. Like if I'm looking for somebody to play with, I don't have to leave the game anymore. I can create that
Create it from right
post
from here.
directly from the guide.
Very nice.
So,
So
never
good.
leave the experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been using that a lot lately on the shows.
We have been,
Yeah.
and I love all the features are really all about making the things you already use on the console super fast and much
Yes.
quicker to access.
Yes, exactly. That was the big point of the update that we did last October, was making everything fast. And then this update has been more about like going in and actually adding some of those highly requested features that we see a lot of feedback for, that a
Into
lot
the
of
guide.
fans
Oh,
are
that's
asking
awesome.
for, and dropping them in.
Nice.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
Loves using looking for groups on the LFG show.
Yeah.
Yeah. There
it
you go.
It seems like we have to
Yep.
use LFG
Yeah, why
on
not?
LFG.
Yeah, so now you don't have to
Same.
leave the game anymore. You can
Very
just
nice.
create it right there. The next thing I'm going to show you, this is going to be the first one I've shown you where we can leave the guide. I'm going to go into My Games and Apps, and I've, much like a cooking show, I've prepared this ahead of time. I have
Right,
I have a
Martha.
game download that I've actually paused. I haven't gone all the way with the game download because in order to see this feature, you need to see a download in progress.
Okay.
And that is this little marker that we now put on the download progress bar. So you're not going to see that little line that's just past. So I've got that black bar that's the progress so far.
Yeah.
There's a little line past it. And not every game has that. So a lot of the games that you play, like the line might be at the very end because you have to download the entire game before you can start it. But in the case where a publisher has said, hey, you can go ahead and start the game whenever you've only downloaded this percentage of the game, that's what that line
That's the
means.
marker.
Nice.
So with Forza 7, there's like 3 races that you can go ahead and jump into whenever only 24% of the game has downloaded. So that's what that little line means.
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
So smart.
Makes
Yeah.
it easier. Yeah.
Such a small thing that I wouldn't even think would like improve your quality of life on the console. But
Yeah.
if I know that I could start playing the game early, then I'm gonna wait for it to hit that line.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, exactly.
awesome.
There was really no way of like knowing
Sure.
before. So you could queue up a download and you didn't really know like, am I going to be able to start this before it's fully downloaded, or do I have to wait for the whole thing? Well,
Yeah.
now
Now
you'll
you
be
know.
able to look at a glance. You can see like, oh hey, like I don't have to queue this up and like go get food or something. Like
It's almost
I
done.
can just hang around for a few minutes and I'm going to be able to start playing.
Very nice.
Sweet.
Gosh.
So those are the 4 tips that I have as part of this big update. There's a bunch of other features as well, but those are kind of the 4 big ones I really wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
But there's also some other stuff, some stuff that we kind of aren't officially talking about yet, but we call them experiments. And And a lot of people have already had a chance to play around with these experiments because we've been rolling them out to the Xbox Insider Ring.
Yeah.
In fact, this console that I'm on right now is in the Xbox Insider Alpha Ring. And so all the stuff that I'm about to show you, the people in the Alpha Ring are already seeing, but not everybody is actually seeing this as part of the full release.
Got it.
Okay.
All right.
Top secret, guys. Don't tell
yeah,
anybody.
seriously,
Okay?
come on.
Yeah.
God.
So
Narcs.
we've got a bunch of different experimental features, but there are like 3 that I'm really excited about.
All
The
right.
first one is right in here in the Gold and Game Pass flyout. So whenever I open this up in the guide, if I jump to the bottom, there's this new thing called Surprise Me. And this is really, really, really cool because we've got a ton of games in Game Pass right now. It's like 100 and I think almost 170
Yeah,
games.
it's a lot.
Crazy.
It's really hard to kind of figure out like, what do I want to play? So with Surprise Me, you can just select this and it's going to automatically open up the Microsoft Store and take you to a store page for a random game in the Game Pass catalog.
On the Game Pass. So one anyone can play that if they're already enrolled in the Game Pass.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So if you've got Game
Very
Pass,
nice.
you're looking for a new game to play, you can just go ahead and pull it up. So here, Banjo-Tooie, great
And I've never,
option.
and I've never
Great
played
game.
Banjo-Tooie.
Yeah.
I played the first one. Yeah, I know. I played the first one. Don't beat me
Yeah,
up.
so great option. Like, it's just surprised me with Banjo-Tooie. If I want to go ahead and install that, I can. Just right there.
That's
yeah, it
really
takes the
nice.
decision out of it. Like sometimes I just want to play a different game, and I have a tendency to go back to the games that I always play.
Right.
This is a great kind of feature that allows me to just.
Yeah.
It takes the work out of going in there and saying.
Yeah,
"Hmm, what do I wanna
great way
see?"
to
Again, for the lazy
great way to
gamer.
discover new stuff.
I'm very
Yeah,
lazy.
no,
that's
it's
why.
nice.
And hey, speaking of which,
And
we just
indecisive people.
hit our ready to start point for Forza Motorsport. So you see we're past the line now, which actually brings me to the other experimental feature that we're being quiet about, and that is download monitor in the guide. So now you don't have to go to My Games and Apps anymore to see your download progress. It's just right there in the guide. And if you
It's a nice touch.
Yes.
It's a nice touch.
Yes, and if you want to do something like, say, like, oh, I've got another game downloading also that I've queued up. I think I'd rather have that one first. Well, within the guide, you can go ahead and pause. Or if you say, I'll download that one later, go ahead and uninstall what's been downloaded
And then it'll start
so
the
far
next one in the queue.
directly from the guide without
Sweet.
having to go into My Games and Apps.
It's all like little things, but they're all great quality of life improvements.
Yes,
like, that's so nice.
exactly.
Just
Yeah,
makes it.
that was the big point of the February update. Speaking of quality of life improvements, there's one other little secret experiment that I'm going to show you that some of our users, again, have already had a chance to play with.
All right, let's see.
I'm going to go back into My Games and Apps. And traditionally, if you were looking at Game Pass within My Games and Apps, you would go to the Collections tab over on the side. But now we actually have a dedicated Xbox Game Pass tab over here where all of your games appear just like they do, in your game library and your ready to install library. They're all right here. So you don't have to necessarily go into Game Pass and search through the library through the store. You can just come in right here, find a game that you want. You can apply filters just like you would to your normal library. So say if I only want to see like Xbox One games, I can do that. Find one that I want to play, like lacrosse. Sure, why not? Go ahead and hit the
Love
menu
Casey
button.
Powell.
Yeah, and I can just install from right there.
Very nice.
So again, these aren't all necessarily rolling out to all of our users right now,
sure.
but if you're in preview, if you're in the Xbox Insider audience, these are all in like the preview alpha ring right now.
And how can
So it's
people
a-
join that?
So all they have to do is download the Xbox Insider app, and then from there they can sign up and pick a ring to join and start playing around with the new features.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Nice. And every time you come here, it's like we're seeing features that the community has requested.
Yeah.
Yes.
And of course, as always, if you have feedback, you can go to feedback.xbox.com.
Yes, and we're always looking at that.
Exactly.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Jordan, you're the man.
Yeah.
You are.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks
This
for
is so
stopping by
awesome.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone, give it up for Jordan. Yeah.
I cannot wait to be a lazier gamer.
Yeah, it's I mean, that's one way to put it, but like I think the idea, I almost don't have to go back to the home screen anymore. Like I can do almost everything
Everything
from the guide, which
But that's
is
like the
super
best
quick.
part. Like that, in my mind, in my opinion, the guide button is like the best part of Xbox,
Yeah.
like the dash, and I think it's so nice. And so being able to just never
Yeah.
have to worry about anything else. would be-
100%. And the 360 guide was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And like I was just waiting for it to catch up to the 360 guide, which is already done. But now I think it's the best guide we've ever had on Xbox, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's nice.
And my opinion is right, by the way.